All right, let's talk about something we all think we know, praise. It's one of the most basic tools in a teacher or a parent's toolkit, right? A quick, good job, or you're so smart. But what if I told you that praise is more like a scalpel than a sledgehammer? If you use it with precision, it can build incredible confidence and a love for learning. But if you're just a little bit off, well, you could be doing more harm than good. So let's get into it.
So let me just start with this question right out of the gate. What if all that well-intentioned encouragement was actually, without you even realizing it, making kids afraid to try hard things? It's a kind of a wild thought, I know, but stick with me, because understanding this is the key to unlocking praise that really works.
And this leads us to something called the praise paradox. You'd think that more praise would always be better, right? Just pour on the positive vibes. But it turns out that's not the case at all. The real magic isn't in the amount of praise you give, but in the kind of praise. It's all about quality over quantity.
And to see why this matters so much, just look at this. This number is pretty staggering. A study from BYU found that in a typical classroom, kids hear what they're doing wrong 4, 5, even 9 times more often than they hear what they're doing right. I mean, it's kind of human nature to spot the problems. But imagine that imbalance. The scale is tipped way towards the negative.
So this is the absolute core of it all. Not all praise is created equal. Over here on the left, you've got the stuff we often say without thinking. You're so smart. You're a natural artist. It sounds nice, but it sends a hidden message that talent is this fixed thing you either have or you don't. And if you're not a natural, why bother trying? But over on the right, that's the good stuff. Effective praise focuses on what a student can actually control, their effort, the strategies they used, their persistence. That's what builds a true growth mindset.
Okay, so if telling a kid they're smart can backfire, what are you supposed to say? Well, don't worry, the research is super clear on this. It points to 2 very specific, very powerful types of praise that you can start using today. Let's break them down. Here they are, your 2 new secret weapons: effort-based praise and behavior-specific praise. Seriously, if you can master these 2, you're going to see a huge difference. And the best part? They're actually really simple once you get the hang of it. So first up, effort-based praise. Instead of saying something like, "Wow, you have such a beautiful voice," which is about innate talent, you zero in on the work. "I am so impressed by how much you practice to sing that song." See the difference? You're praising the grind, the dedication, the things that are 100% in their control. You're telling them, your hard work is what made this happen. That is incredibly empowering. And number 2 is behavior-specific praise. This one is all about clarity. A vague "good job today" is okay, but it doesn't tell a student what to repeat. Instead, you get really specific. "Hey, great job getting your homework out of your folder the moment you sat down." Boom! Now they know exactly what they did right, and they're way more likely to do it again tomorrow. It's not just nice, it's a powerful management strategy.
Okay, so we know what to say now. But the how is just as important. Your tone, your timing, the way you deliver the praise, all of that can either make it land perfectly or fall completely flat.
So here are 5 quick rules for delivery. First, it has to be sincere. Kids have a built-in radar for fake praise, so you gotta mean it. Second, focus on the journey, not just the destination. Praise the messy middle parts, not just the A on the test. Third, and this is a big one, never compare one student to another. That just breeds resentment. Fourth, don't go overboard for every little thing. That can actually signal low expectations. And finally, make sure the praise is actually earned and connected to real effort. Oh, I love this quote. It's from Professor Paul Caldarella, and it's just such a perfect, simple rule to live by. Praise in public, correct in private. Why? Because when you praise someone in front of their peers, it amplifies the positive behavior for everyone. But when you have to correct someone, doing it privately protects their dignity, especially with middle schoolers who are so image conscious. It's all about respect. Okay, now for my favorite part. We've talked about all the theory, but does this stuff actually work in the real world? What happens when you put these ideas into practice? Let me tell you, the results are, well, they're a total game changer. Get ready for this. Remember that BYU study? When teachers deliberately flipped that ratio and started praising students at least as much as they corrected them? The amount of time the entire class spent focused and on task shot up by 60 to 70%. 60 to 70! That's not just a small tweak, that's transforming the entire learning environment. And it gets even better. For the students who were struggling the most, the ones considered high risk, the impact was just incredible. In these classrooms filled with effective praise, their grades jumped by a full letter grade. Think about what that means. That's the difference between a C and a B, or passing and failing. This isn't just about making kids feel good. It has real, measurable academic results.
And this last quote just says it all, doesn't it? At the end of the day, it's about creating a place where students feel seen, feel valued, and actually want to be. When you build that positive foundation, good behavior and real learning naturally follow. So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with this one thought. You don't have to change everything all at once. So think about it. What is one small, tiny tweak you can make in the way you give praise tomorrow? Maybe it's just catching yourself before you say, "You're so smart," and instead saying, "I love the way you didn't give up on that." That one small change could be the start of something really, really big. Thanks for listening.